Well, joining us again for our panel are Ford O'Connell and Melanie Collette. A lot has happened within the world of sports, specifically in baseball. Saturday was the Tampa Bay Rays' 16th annual Pride Night celebration. They were playing against the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, and 5 players on the Rays chose not to participate by wearing the caps and uniforms that had the logos with the LGBTQ plus pride flag on it. Melanie, here's the thing about this. They refused to wear the gay pride. I'm sorry, Katrina, I think you were going to go with this, but I just wanted to make clear that they were going to not do this because it was against their religion. But Melanie, I don't think wearing something like that, it necessarily has to be against your religion, other than why are we talking about what goes behind closed doors and wearing a patch about that anyway?
Exactly. And I believe it was the coach who made the statement. And I think that people need to understand what this is about. And I think the coach made the statement that what they are saying by wearing the patch is that you are loved and you are welcomed and you are celebrated. And I think where many Christians and people like myself get off the LGBTQ boat is the celebration part. Why are we celebrating other people's sexuality or how other people choose to live their sexual lives? And I think that's where, like, I don't think any Christian has a problem with the welcoming and the loving part, but I think where we take issue, where we draw that line in the sand, is the celebratory part. And for some reason, some in that community think that if you're not willing to celebrate, that is equal to hate, and it just isn't. It just is not equal to hate. But we're not willing to celebrate. We love you. We welcome you. We have no, we don't take issue with your lifestyle, other than we choose not to celebrate and participate. That's, I think, where the line is drawn in the sand and where we find it problematic.
Yeah, and now going from baseball to football, Ford, the National Football League, of course, the NFL, hired its first transgender cheerleader. The Carolina Panthers welcomed 29-year-old Justine Lindsay to the Top Cats cheerleading squad. Thoughts on this one?
Well, gender identity is exploding as a national issue, and Melanie's absolutely right. When we talk about faith-based folks, that includes inclusivity, means everybody's viewpoint on it, not just the LGBTQ movement. But that said, what's happening here is the reason why it's Pride Month right now, and you've got the Democrats looking for a narrative because they don't want to talk about gasoline, inflation, crime, illegal immigration, but you also have corporations like the Carolina Panthers who are willing to virtue signal ahead of the upcoming season because they need a way to pacify their fans just in case something goes wrong with the team during the season. Unfortunately, this is a situation where corporations decide to piggyback the narrative that Democrats in particular like, because they feel that that way they protect themselves and insulate themselves, and don't understand that this is a zero-sum game and eventually they're going to be hit. Corporations need to stay out of the politics. If they want to lobby behind closed doors, that's absolutely fine, but be agnostic when it comes to your fans, because not everyone agrees with what's being shoved down our throats.
Yeah, and I don't know, I haven't seen a big demand to add somebody trans to cheerleading crew, and don't want to sound anti-gay or transphobic or anything like that, but I've never looked down on the field. Well, you know what they need. But let's go on to this next topic, which is Pizza Hut. They have a Book It series in which they encourage children to read. Now, they've added a book titled Bigwig, which is about a boy who dresses in drag clothing and wears a wig with supernatural powers. And Melanie, what bugs me about what they're doing, teaching, so to speak, kids, it feels more like grooming kids, what they're doing nowadays with drag queen shows for kids. This book, is trying to encourage a 6-year-old to dress a certain way. I got news for you. When you're at that age, you shouldn't even be thinking about these things. If you want to play with dolls, play with it. If you want to play with the football, play with it. It almost feels to me, Melanie, like they're trying to groom kids.
Well, here's the thing. It just makes parents' lives more difficult. Parents are going to have to absolutely vet everything that their kids put their hands on, because nobody is looking out for your child. You are going to have to. It's pretty clear that corporate America has gone woke. So all of these programs, public school, libraries, everywhere that you look, you're going to have to pay attention to everything that your kids put their hands on to read. You cannot trust these corporations to provide books for your child that are going to be safe. I do not know why these people insist on confusing small children sexually. You want to discuss transsexuality with children, wait till they're old enough to comprehend. Just like you wouldn't explain to a kindergartner the ins and outs, the complexities of where babies come from, why would you explain transsexuality? Right. You wouldn't.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, that's a great point.
Melanie?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to say, I think you're absolutely right. I think what's happening is kids are going to be more confused than ever. But again, we're going to have to leave it right there. Ford O'Connell and Melanie Collette, thanks so much for joining us.